Hello there, English speakers. Welcome to me and my dad and the wet Ilsdal. We'll talk a little bit about Sweden, some stuff, and yet a little bit more about tea. So let's start by taking a big, deep breath and stretch up. I just received my mug money, so I'm not rich, but thank you for ordering those. If you also plan to do something similar, you can use Pioneer, spelled like pioneer but with pay. It's an alternative to PayPal. So if you're outside of USA and you want some money from USA, as they are a third world country, so you can't easily transfer money from USA to Sweden and to Europe and to the rest of the world. There's a link there, down there, and you get $25 if you use that and you start using the service. The vaccines are rolling out fast now. We have one 75-year-old man in Israel died from it. For reasons, I guess. He was pretty sick anyway. I will not comment more on that, I think. Here in Sweden we have a system where media can get money from the government sometimes. And then, of course, there are people in the agency that are supposed to hand out money, and they hand out money to their bodies that shouldn't get money, and they refuse to give out money for people with wrong political views, as usual, as expected. But the biggest alternative media platforms in Sweden, 5 different big newspapers, big, it's like One American News Network and Newsmax. They have shut down today in protest of this SwebbTV that was kicked out from YouTube, and they are demanding that our government do something about it. Then some good news. They have had some tea in Vitro. So they take saliva from people and put some tea on it, and it turns out that 99% of the virus dies, and this is not only green tea but other teas. So they are suggesting that we should try out to gargle and use tea like that, just to lower the viral load in your mouth and maybe throat. So that's good, simple stuff that everyone can do and become, less sick. And for you who missed the dog, here's another one. An interesting article here about why we have so good treatment of COVID in far-flung places. If you go to your witch doctor in the center of Africa, they will give you ivermectin, and they probably give you something with zincs and a lot of herbs, and you will get well fast and you will not suffer from severe COVID. If you go to a hospital here, they say, go home, we can't do anything about it because there is no science and we don't know what to do, even though I've linked to hundreds of studies at least. So the reason is, of course, one example here from the US Congress, but it's the same everywhere with my friends and everyone else. They say, it's unverified and discredited, and they don't even look at the evidence. I've tried to convince people like this, it's impossible. The only thing to handle them, the only way to handle them is to be just shut them out. Say that they are morons, they are selfish, and distance yourself from them and try to build something without them and build your network, build your income outside of their systems, and kick them out of your party, of course. You are in that position. And then Trump was lying on Twitter. That happens a lot, as you know. So he said that 205,000 more votes than voters in Pennsylvania, and this is what everyone who hates Trump gets wrong. They say that, oh, there are way more registered voters than there are votes, but this is not what Trump is saying, and not what Dr. Shiva, not what I or anyone who actually know what they are talking about saying. So there are lists in USA of everyone who actually came in and voted, and then you have their name and address, and then you count all these names and you get the number of people who have actually voted, and then you compare that to the amount of votes, and the amounts of votes are 202,000 bigger, not 205 as Trump said, but you see what he did there. If he writes something correct, he will get less exposure. So now everyone can say, oh, Trump, you're wrong. It's not 205, it's 202,000. So this is a trick if you want to have some attention on Twitter, especially Twitter, but also in news or among your friends or whatever. Say something that's almost true, and then people will correct you and you will get more exposure. So everything for today, and say hello, Papa. Wave to the Americans. So bye, see you.